Thank you, Samuel. Behind me, you see a monumental mural painting done by Danish artist Wilhelm Bjerke Petersen. It actually took him 7 years to complete this painting. This is on the second floor of a public school a few kilometers from here. There's one more in the ground floor, about the same size. So this is an example of what I'm talking about today. This is site-specific monumental art, mural paintings, wall paintings, if you wish. Often, since they are site-specific, they relate to the institution where they are placed. Here you see it's constructed to fit the architecture, of course, but also there are, maybe you can see them, there are planes in the air, because at the same time the new airport in Copenhagen was opened just close to here. And also you see small villages at Amager. And now I already left my manuscript, and I promised myself and Christina to stick to it. The embrace of these monumental mural paintings in interwar Europe came out of a widespread critique of easel painting as being passé, bourgeois, decadent, and individualist. Both the political left and the political right pursued mural paintings as a way to engage the public and to integrate the arts. It was also viewed as a way to make the artists socially productive and engaged, to mobilize artistic production into the larger social, political, and economic crisis after the First World War. The rise of the mural form took its impulses from the violence and division of its age. In this way, mural painting became a metaphor for a fragmented Europe because it embodies high hopes of unifying art and architecture, artist and society. Many critics and politicians believed in the mural's ability to embody the politics and the changed realities of interwar Europe, be it in fascist Italy under Mussolini, or in the anti-fascist Spanish Popular Front, or the collective ambitions of the Soviet Union. And the World Exposition in Paris in 1937 that Christina Kjær already mentioned is probably the most famous or infamous example of how the mural and art in general was used. In some cases, it was used, and in some cases misused as embodiment of politics and ideologies. So I'm just going to show you these very quick. I'm not going to dig into them. This is a German pavilion. Of course, you recognize the symbols. Christina already showed Denica's painting from the Soviet pavilion, and even Picasso at the Spanish pavilion, Guernica, very famous wall painting. This painting was actually exhibited here at the National Gallery after the World Exhibition, and according to legend, the museum was offered to buy it, but they turned that down, so that's why it is in Madrid today at the Reina Sofia. I think it's a true story. In the interwar period, also in Denmark, the interest in and realization of murals increased significantly, and art and culture became, probably more than ever before in Denmark, an ideological battlefield. And that was, for instance, personified by Julius Bomholt, key politician when talking about art in interwar Denmark. He represented the Social Democratic Party, the party that formed government in Denmark from 1924. And hereafter was the dominant party for decades in Denmark. Julius Bomholt wanted to confront what he called the outdated tradition of the upper class. Out of the chaos of the Industrial Revolution, as he said, gradually but inevitably grew a new class And that class was, according to Bumholt, the industrial working class. Through art, he wanted solidarity. His cultural manifesto from 1925 read, "Alliance between art and production, between art and working life, exclamation mark, and art for the masses, exclamation mark." Ja, tak Samuel. Thus, the bourgeois individualistic luxury art, as he said, had to give way to a proletarian collectivistic art. And Bumholt wanted, when it came to the pictorial art, the artists to decorate the institutions where people met, schools, libraries, town halls, and so on. I have a few quotes from Julius Bumholt. I'm not going to read them out loud. You can do that. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. I was already shown the green card. So I just picked these quotes from Julius Bumholt. I could have picked others. I think they exemplify pretty well what his thoughts about culture as a protest was. So his colleague in the Social Democratic Party, Hartwig Frisch, the chief ideologist of the party, he agreed with Bumholt regarding the important role of art and culture in a new society, but he was critical of Bumholt's idea of art for the masses. In 1933, Hartwig Frisch wrote the book The Plague Over Europe, Bolshevism, Fascism, Nazism, in which he warned against any kind of totalitarian ideology, because to him, grand ideologies or grand narratives were speculative and without any feeling for the singular human being. He thus found Bumholt's opposition between individual and collective false, dangerous even, and felt that art and culture should embrace the entire people, not just the working class. So, Hartwig Frisch, what he says is that Denmark is a healthy society, and the new world is already here, and it's ripe, and it will come. Julius Bumholt, in the 30s, kind of changed his mind because he got scared when he saw what happened in the Soviet Union and in Germany. So I claim that a hardcore working class art, we did not see it in Denmark when it comes to the public monumental murals. But on the other hand, many of the ambitions for social art and art that engaged people were definitely realized in the mural paintings in the public space. They were completed all over the country in new public institutions, as I said before. They were neither right nor left wing, but they were ideological in the sense that they, in this highly tense interwar period, often praised the healthy man, physically and intellectually, working people, family ties, togetherness, faith, sometimes the nation, and generally hopes for a better, more peaceful world. But they were seldom commissioned and funded by the state. They were funded by a private institution, primarily the new Carlsberg Foundation, a private art foundation. So I'm running out of time way too early. So now I'm going to do something that might stress you, but I'm going to show a lot of pictures to give you examples of what this Danish mural art could look like. I could have chosen 25 other examples, but this is what I'm going to show you. Georg Jacobsen, Søndermark, crematorium close to here. Circle of Life, Birth, Death. Very famous, Lundstrøm, Frederiksberg Svømmehal from 38. Huge mosaic paintings. Probably one of the best examples of this kind of art. You see his sketches, of course, below. Godhavn Orphanage. Now, here you see what often happens with time. Basketball came to Denmark, and they were put up in front of the paintings. Jens Søndergaard, 39, Thisted, north of the peninsula in Denmark. 7 large paintings with local motifs. Sigurd Hansen, Sports Facilities, Copenhagen, Boldklub, 39. Johannes Larsen, Town Hall, Odense. Samuel, I'm nervous when you got the red card in your hand. 37, fresco painting. Monastery, Niels Larsen Stevens, fresco. And Heydorn Olsen, Town Hall, Aarhus. And I wanted to elaborate on Måns Lorentzens frescoes in Social School, Roskilde Højskole. Walking Towards the Light, which is one of the most socialist murals we find in Denmark. He wrote an article where he explained what he was trying to do. He wanted an art for the masses like Julius Bumholdt, but he then said that he didn't want to portray May demonstrations or working people. He wanted to do it in a more symbolic way, which is what you see here, the big mass walking from darkness towards light. The frescoes are all over this square hall. 10 seconds, Samuel. But what happens often, because this type of art from the 50s and 60s were pretty much forgotten in Danish art history, the high school was left and ruined, and the murals looked like this a few years ago when I was there, and today they're totally gone. The interior of the building was demolished. So they're gone. It's a tragedy, and it happens all the time.